I just wanted to take a quick moment to go over the quiz. So the first one was probability of getting a 4 or less. So that means 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, right? So it's 4 out of 6. If you state the decimal, right, you have a few options. You could have gone 6, 7, right? Because you cut it after 2, so 2 minimal, 0.667, or you could have written 6667 like that. It's up to you, right? But you had to round it correctly, and the percentage is 66.67. So again, you go to your calculator and you look at the calculator answer, multiply that by 100, right? So 4 divided by 6 times 100, that's 66.67 if you round that to 2 decimals, okay? Words would be 4 out of 6, right? And there we go. So 7 out of 8 is returning, stated as a decimal percent. That shouldn't have been an issue. Them not returning, you take 100%, subtract 87.5%, you get 12.5%, or 1/8, right? So the opposite of 7/8 would be 1/8. Okay, so prediction here, how many would return, not return that is? Use your previous answer. So 1/8 or 0.125 times 156, you get 20 eagles, 19 or 20. Okay, so that page was worth 5 marks. The backside, the farmer question, there's only 2 crops to choose from. So in theory, the theoretical probability is 1 out of 2. Okay, that's it. Experimental probability to plant canola, it's 3 out of 10. Okay, since 7 out of 10 plant wheat, 3 out of 10 plant canola. And the explain question, really, you could have written anything. Okay, you can say that since the majority of the farmers plant wheat, right, there's probably going to be more demand for canola, which a lot of you did mention. So that's why. So this is kind of saying, even though the experimental probability says that, right, you should go with the wheat, giving me another reason why you would rather go with canola, other than just looking at the probability. Okay. Next page. There we have it. So we wanted the odds in favor of being red. Okay, so that means that red comes first, not red comes second. There are 53 beans, remember that. So 16 are red, and you take your total, subtract the 16 that are red. So this is what you're supposed to get there. Odds against being black. Because it says against, black is here, therefore non-blacks are on the left side. So I start with the 9, and I go 53 minus 9 on the other side. Remember, when you add the odds, you should always get back to the 53. If you don't, you made a mistake. Probability, right? This is experimental probability on red. 16 out of a total of 53. Okay. This one was a little controversial. Some of you used this probability. Some of you used the theoretical, meaning 1 out of 4 because there's 4 colors. And you know what? You kind of had a point. So I just gave you the marks either way. Okay. Next, sports betting site says odds in favor of Jets winning be 1 to 25. So 1 represents the win, 25 not win. What are the odds against the Jets winning? Guys, if you have odds and you turn it and you convert it, it's like you're staying within odds. There should be no adding or subtracting, right? It's just saying odds against. All it is saying is you put the against first and the win second. So you just basically flip it. Okay? Some of you were subtracting, adding, doing all kinds of interesting things there. Based on these odds, what's the probability of Jets winning? So the probability of the Jets winning the Stanley Cup, remember, you're going from odds to probability, and that's when you add up the 2 numbers to get your denominator, which is supposed to be 26. So 1 out of 26, that's a probability of winning. Forecaster says there's rain tomorrow 60%, not rain is 40%, just like that. This was not a bonus. I was going to, but that shouldn't have been too hard. Okay. The odds in favor of rain tomorrow. Well, if 60 is rain, then 100%, right? Because it's 60 out of 100 minus 60. 60 to 40 is are the odds of rain. Okay. So that was that. Next page. Here we had the odds again. Make sure you read odds of landing green. That means green, not green. So you have two green sections here. Okay, right there and there. And yes, there are 8 in total, but remember, you got to subtract the 2 green sections, so it's 2 to 6. And remember, you add up these two, you get your total. Odds against spinner landing on red. That means that, right, you have not first, not red, and then red. But I focus on red because it's easy to figure out that there are 3 red sections. Then I go total minus 3 to get my 5. So 5 that are not red, 3 that are red. Okay. Odds of Mr. Dixon going fishing, 13 out of 52 is the probability. Remember, this is your total. So 13 goes here, 52 my total, minus the 13 is what you get here. Remember, you add these up, you get your 52. Probability against going fishing, I go 52 minus 13, okay? Because out of 52, 13 I did go fishing, that means that 39 I did not, Mr. D did not. Out of 52, okay? Next, state the probability of an athlete winning a medal. You're going from odds to probability. Remember that, odds to probability. So it's 1 over 1 plus 5 should be 1 over 6, not 1 over 5. Odds against winning the medal. You're going from odds to odds. Sure, you could have gone from this probability to the odds. I wouldn't recommend that. Just go back to the original. All you do is flip it, okay? Prediction, you're supposed to use this answer and multiply it by that many athletes and then get me a round number, which most of you did. Odds against a pregnancy resulting in twins are 25 to 1. If it's against, that means that these are non-twins, these are twins. Okay, but you're going to probability, so what must happen for sure is you add those two to get your denominator. And in this case, we identified that the 1 represents the number of twins, so that's the one we go on top, put on top in this case. Okay. If you had put 250 on top, that would have been the probability against a pregnancy resulting in twins. Okay, there we go. Back side. A standard deck of cards is 52. It doesn't include jokers. That's just confirming that. So you stick with the 52. I have you today. And then we continue here. So ace, not ace, right? So it'll be 4 to 48. Because you got 52, you subtract 4 from it. So again, if you add this up, you get your total of 52. Okay. And remember, this is odds. All of these were odds. Spade, you have spade, not spades, right? So you got 13 spades, and therefore 52 minus 13, 13 to 39 it is, right? Because remember, you've got your spades, your clubs, your hearts, your diamonds, okay? You've got 13 of each. Some of you need to beef up your study sheet on that one. Odds of drawing a red face, so you want red face here, not red face there. There are 12 face cards in total, 6 of them are red. So it's 6 to 52 minus 6. Therefore 6 to 46, right? Odds of drawing an ace of diamonds, there's only one ace, so there's 4 aces. Okay, one for each suit. There's an ace of clubs, ace of spades, ace of clubs, ace of hearts, and ace of diamonds. Okay, there's only one. So 1, and then on the other side is 51, because we take that away from 52. This means probability of not drawing a red card. Just make sure you say it's probability. 6, the probability of Toronto Raptors winning the NBA championship trophy is 37.5. State the odds, no decimals in it. The best thing you can do here, write this as a fraction like this. I have 1 decimal, so I'm going to multiply both by 10. Okay, that gives me this, 375 over 1,000. That's what I then use to say, hey, I'm going to go from probability to odds. So I write down the 375 first, and then I go 1,000 minus 375. So this is what I was looking for. if you simplify it, you get 3 to 5. Okay. And then the last one, which one is more likely to win? You remember, you're going from odds to probability. You're supposed to turn all these odds to a probability. The MCI already had it done. 4 out of 17 is literally 4 out of 17. It's like that. Kelvin, right? You need to make sure you add these two to get your denominator of 64. Sister, you need to add these two to get your denominator of 28. And then you turn everything into a decimal or a percentage. And then you state that Sizzler has the best chance because it has the highest probability. All right. Next page. A little bit of odds and probability again. Video here. Next we have these a bag with marbles, so they add up to 19. State the odds in favor of drawing a pink marble. And we've got 8 pinks and therefore 11 that are not. So how did I come up with the 11? Well, you can add 7 and 4 together and get your 11, or you could have gone 8 to 19 minus 8. It still gives you 8 to 11, regardless of how you do it. The odds in favor of drawing purple. Remember, if it's in favor, then it's purple, not purple. So we've got 4 purples and 15 that are not. So I basically added the pink and orange together to get the 15 there. Or you could have gone 4 to 19 minus 4. You still get 4 to 15 regardless. Okay. Odds against drawing an orange. If it's against, you want not orange first and orange, the orange marbles second. So I start with the 7, and then I come up with the non-orange, which is 8 and 4. Right, the pink and the purple. Or you could have gone with, 7, and then a 19 minus 7. Okay, you still get 12 to 7, regardless of how you approach it. The probability of drawing a pink marble, 8 pinks out of 19 total. So it's a probability, not odds. Okay. Next. We have odds of the Jets winning are 3 to 2. That means win, not win. Okay. Say the odds against the Jets winning. All you have to do is flip it. Right. You're staying within odds. You're just writing it in a different format. So no adding or subtracting. The probability of the Jets winning, it'll be 3 over 5 because you add the 3 and 2 together. Okay. That's where this is from. Same losing. You can just base it off of this answer. If 3 out of 5 is a win, then 2 out of 5 is a loss. Okay. Next, Mary draws a 4 of hearts from a standard deck of cards, does not replace it. Okay, so total for sure goes down. What's the probability of the second card being an ace? You know for sure that from 52 you went down to 51. The aces have not been affected by that first draw, so you still have your 4 intact as is, so that'd be 4 over 51. Drawing another 4 based on the fact that a 4 of hearts is already taken, right? You've got 4 cards, right? 4 cards that are number 4. One of them is gone, okay? So you're left with 3 4s and still 51 because that one, the total is affected no matter what because you have not replaced it. Next is what are the odds of the second card being a face card? Well, you still have your 12 face cards there. And remember, since the first one has been pulled, you're down to 51. So we take the 12 away from the 51 to get 12 to 39. So these were odds, not probability. In this case, a 6 of spades has been pulled. It is replaced, so nothing changes. So this would be just 4 out of 52, as always. Last question, last page, I guess. You've got all these fish that were caught. That's 40 in total. And the odds in favor of being a walleye, so that's walleye, not walleye, right? So you've got 3 walleye and 37, right? These two combined are non-walleye, so that's what you put down. Remember, if you add that, you get your total of 40. What are the odds against a fish caught being a pike? So you want not pike first, pike second. But I put the 13 down first, right? And then I take that away from the total to get the 27 to 13 on the other side, okay? What's the experimental probability of catching bass? And remember, it has to be experimental because something was done, right? Based on what actually happened. And that's just a bass, so there's 24 bass out of 40 total, okay? 24 bass out of 40. I figured that out by adding it all up. Okay. Last one here. There's a 40% chance that you win the contract. The proposal costs $1,000, but if you win, you get $7,500. So 40 out of 100, you win. You get the $7,500 prize, but you paid $1,000. Okay. Then this is 60 out of 100 because 40 out of 100 is the chances of winning, therefore 60 out of 100 is the chance of losing. Make sure you subtract this part. And it's $1,000 to play. You clean this up. You're supposed to get this, and so you get a positive $2,000 value. So this is actually worth 3 marks, 1 for each correct substitution, and then 1 mark for working it out. And you should be making the proposal since there's a positive expected value. Back side. In this case, there's 2 prizes to be won. It costs you $10 to play. If you spin a yellow, you get 50. So there's only one out of 8 probability of getting yellow. You win 50, you spend $10, so that's worth a mark, plus 3 out of 8 chances to get a blue. Right? 1, 2, 3 out of 8, you win 20, you spend 10, and since it's 1 and 3 already, there's a 4 and 8 chances of losing, and so that's $10 there. You plug that in, and you get $375 in total. That's out of 4. That's all.